So you want to know how Minecraft iron farms are working. Here's a step-by-step tutorial. So let's build one. You won't need any redstone for this farm. You need to start by placing 3 beds in a row, just like this, but the third bed has to be in the opposite direction, like this. This is important, I will tell you later about it. Next, place 6 slabs next to the beds, just like this, and surround the whole thing with a row of blocks. This will be a room where you keep some villagers. You need 3 villagers. More on that also later. For the next step I use glass blocks. Now you don't need to use glass blocks, you can use any blocks you like, but with glass blocks we can look inside and see what the villagers are doing, so I prefer using glass blocks. This farm has a direction. As you can see, here is the turned around bed, and this was where we started. And where we started and where the bed is facing in this direction, this is the location where you have to put a composter. Because inside of this composter there will be a zombie standing, scaring the villagers inside. So there has to be a small gap where the zombie can peek in and scare the villagers, so the iron golems will be spawning. And more on that later, just be careful and pay attention so that you get the right direction. Besides a room for the villagers and a zombie that scares them, we'll come to it in a minute, you need some place for the iron golems to spawn where you can farm them and convert them into iron. And this will be on top of this villager room. Now you really need some glass blocks. Place them just like this. A row of 2 blocks here and another row on this side. And in the middle, right in the middle, you will place some normal blocks. These are the only spawnable blocks for iron golems, because everything around here will be spawn proofed and the golems will only spawn on top of this. Now, we will need another thing, and that's a collection system and a water transport system. You need water to push the iron golems into lava. And I use walls to encase the water stream on top of this platform, and just like this, leave it open to the opposite side of the zombie, that's important, and then place some water like this. The next step is to stop it from flowing too far, and you only need to place a few hoppers and chests here. This will be the collection system for the iron. You can place a double chest, just like this, and a hopper on the side pointing into the double chest, another hopper on top, and 5 more hoppers that are just directed into this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now everything that drops into these hoppers here will be put into this double chest. You can also put another double chest below with another hopper and so on. Maybe another one. The more storage, the better. Now we need a way to harvest the iron from the golems, and this is how you do it. Place a few more blocks around these hoppers. And also a few more walls, just like this, on both sides. And finish it up by raising these blocks, solid blocks, up to the same level of these walls. For the next step you need a few signs. Place them on this wall facing in this direction, and another set of signs on this part, just like this. If you put a lava bucket right here, it cannot flow outside, it will stay there, and the signs are holding this lava into position. Golems are taller than the player and they will burn, but only if their feet are not standing in water. So we need another set of signs right here to stop the water from flowing over the hoppers. And now if a golem spawns, it will be pushed right here and die by lava damage. The iron will be collected and put into the storage system down below. If you would activate this farm now, iron golems would spawn everywhere around this farm, but not entirely on top of the farm where they should. So you need to do the following. Place slabs around this farm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks in each direction from the farm. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And fill this area with slabs. If you're building this in a normal world and there's a cave below the surface, there's also the possibility that the golems can spawn below in this cave. You need to spawn proof it as well. Or another thing where you can avoid placing all these slabs is by putting this farm into the air, where are no surrounding blocks for the iron golems to spawn on. Time to activate this farm by putting 3 villagers inside. Just go in here and be careful, villagers are 2 blocks tall, so they would be able to escape out of this hole. Place another slab on the top side to avoid that. You can close it up. You need a way to transport villagers inside of here. You can use boats. You can open up one side and put them in here. You can let them walk by themselves while there is night outside, because they will search for beds. And if these villagers are having these green particles, then you know they recognize these beds and they are using them from now on. Next we have to find a zombie to scare these villagers. Scared villagers will spawn iron golems around them, in this case only on top of here. But to be sure we need to close up this first and only open it after the zombie setup is ready. There might be a few blocks that are not spawn proof yet around this place, and if an iron golem does not spawn inside, but on another block where it should not spawn at the moment, it might kill your zombie and you will have to get another one. So make sure to deactivate this farm by closing up this hole first. Next, push a zombie into this composter. There's a way to make it a bit more easy by using a trapdoor on the side, because it will perfectly align the zombie to fall into this composter. You can see the blocks are basically the same here, and you can use some stones around, another trapdoor on top, and lure this zombie into this hole. And when it tries to chase you, use some blocks to avoid it hitting you. It will try to jump on you and it will fall right in here. If it's inside, you can do the following. Put a slab above its head, just like this, and it won't be able to jump out anymore. So it's perfectly trapped. Now you need to get a name tag, or you can drop it an item, and if the zombie picks this item up, you don't need a name tag because it won't despawn anymore. But if it does not pick up an item, if it's a normal zombie, then you need to use a name tag. Rename it, Iron Farm, maybe, and use it on the zombie. And now the zombie won't despawn. To make sure nothing ever harms this zombie, you want to have it stay there forever, you can use a few more blocks to encase it, and nothing will be able to reach it. Just like this. But remember, on top of these blocks is again iron golem spawnable space, so you need to place a few more slabs to avoid iron golems from spawning up here. It is finally time to activate the farm by removing these 2 blocks that block the side from the zombie to the villager. Close it up with another slab, and the farm is active now. If you're wondering why there are no iron golems spawning in your farm, you need to know villagers have to sleep at least once in their bed to make iron golems spawn. Wait until nightfall and they will step outside of the field of view from the zombie, and once in a while they will sleep in a bed for a small tick, and then they will be immediately waken up by the zombie again. And now you see the reason why the bed is rotated in the other direction. The head of the sleeping villager is closer to the zombie, and if the bed is rotated the other way around, it won't be woken up by the zombie anymore because it's not in the field of view anymore. In case I missed something or made an error, you can check out the comments, and if you found an error, let me know. Also, check out my biggest Minecraft project yet. I built a whole planet in more than 700 hours, and I will put the link in the pinned comment below. And you can find more tutorials like this on my channel.